What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Michaela back at it again with another video.
Bitches, drink, mollies, perks, lean, hold me up.
And as you see by the title, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get a job as a teenager or as a 16-year-old, however old you are. If you're like 14 and up, I can teach you how to get a job. So stay tuned. But before we get started, shout out to you guys for the questions and shout out to you guys for being the first one to comment on my video. And if you want to shout out in the next video, please make sure to comment first and like and do all that good stuff to get a shout out on my next video. So yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so one more thing before we get started with today's video. I'm selling these nice little bracelets. I'm gonna insert a video right here. These are 14 karat gold tennis bracelets. If you want to purchase one of these tennis bracelets, make sure you click the link right here or click the link in the description box. But let's get started with today's video. As you guys may know, I'm 16 and I started working at Walmart as soon as I turned 16. I turned 16 September 14th and I got my job November 11th. So yeah, and I worked at Walmart. So Walmart is like a really hard job to get as a teenager and they pay well. So a lot of teenagers was asking me, you know, how'd you get hired at Walmart? How'd you start working there? Would you put on your applications and stuff like that? So I decided to make a video and share like how I got my job and stuff like that. And yeah, shout out to my boss Mike for hiring me there. And he's like the best boss in the world, y'all. Like, he's so nice. If it wasn't for him, I would not be working at Walmart anymore because, you know, I like to come late and stuff. But yeah, he's the plug with stuff, and yeah, he's just one of the best bosses ever. I'm gonna give you guys tips and tricks on how to get good jobs like that. Walmart pays anywhere from $11 an hour to $20 an hour, depending on what position you want to work at. I'm a cashier. I get paid $11 an hour. I believe we're getting a raise sometime soon, but yeah. First things first with getting a job is you have to do your research. Now, what I mean by doing your research is, you know, looking up what jobs hire at your age and up, or what jobs hire with a certain amount of pay or something like that. Make sure, if you're a teenager, obviously, if you're watching this video, you're a teenager, make sure you don't apply for jobs that serve alcohol because it's going to be harder for you to get in. So like Walmart, we do sell alcohol. That's why it's hard for teenagers to get in, but they do have CSNs that come and bring up alcohol, or we do have liquor stores in some Walmarts. So yeah, that's one con about it. If you're a teenager and you work at a Walmart without a liquor store in there, then the CSNs will not put you on the register a lot because they don't feel like walking back and forth to bring up alcohol. I mean, it's just how some people is. I don't understand it, but yeah. So do your research before applying for a job. Make sure the jobs you apply for are higher at your age and up, or yeah, stuff like that. Tip number 2 is make sure you feel comfortable doing that job before you apply for it. So if you don't feel comfortable moving, then stalking is not for you. If you don't feel comfortable talking to customers, then something like a cashier is not for you. So yeah, make sure you feel comfortable doing what you apply for. And yeah, like I said, make sure you apply for something that's close by, and make sure your job is reliable. Like, okay, it's close by, obviously you can work there a long time just in case you don't have a ride or something. Yeah, if you have a smart mouth, then cashier is not for you, like I was saying. Yeah, make sure it's just a reliable job. If you have a smart mouth and you're over here cashiering your customers, then it's not going to be reliable because they might fire you because of your mouth. Like me, I don't know, I can hold in my anger, but to a certain extent, I will go off. And I did it before at Walmart. I can do a story time if you guys want me to. So that's all about the applying and stuff. Now, when it comes to interviews, I'm gonna give you tips on interviews. Now, so when you apply, you want to put all your information, of course, basic stuff like that. I believe everybody knows that. Ask your parents for help. They worked, obviously. I mean, I hope they did, and they can help you out. I had my mom helping me out with some stuff, but I actually applied for Walmart on my own. Now, when you apply for certain stores, you have to do what they call is a questionnaire, like asking about like what would happen in certain situations, like what would you do in certain situations. And yeah, I did that and I passed. Mostly you want to pass them. Do not submit your application if you don't pass the questionnaires. You just have to act cordial when you do the questionnaire. So yeah, okay, after you're done doing the application, you submit it, and after you submit it, they'll email you probably, or they'll call you back and ask for an interview. When they do that, something that I'll do if they don't hit me back as soon as possible is I'll call it to the place I applied for, and I'll be like, hi, can I speak to the hiring manager? And then they'll put the hiring manager on the phone. If they don't, call back another day. But yeah, they'll put the hiring manager on the phone, and you'll be like, so you just tell them, hi, I'm calling to check on the status of my application and stuff like that. And then they'll tell you, like, oh yeah, we're checking on it, and then stuff like that. So yeah, well, me, I got lucky because they called me, and boom, I answered. They was like, oh, you want to come in for an interview? I was like, of course. So yeah, if they do call you back, they'll call you and ask you for an interview. So boom, here's interviewing tips. You'll go in dressed nicely. You don't have to dress in like no tuxedo or a nice dress. Do not wear a dress to interview. I feel like it's just, it's not common sense. Because you don't work in a dress, don't show up to interview in a dress. Well, you can show up in whatever you want to show up in, but yeah, just don't wear something like sandals or, no, actually, that don't make no sense. Actually, you can show up in whatever you want to, just don't show up in something crazy like with logos on it and stuff like that. Just wear something cordial, like something you'll wear if you was a principal. Yeah, show up in something like that. They're gonna ask you questions like, why do you think you're suitable for this job and stuff like that. And you can say random stuff like, because I'm very nice and I have good customer service skills and stuff like that. If you worked before, you can just say, you have previous experience with customers and stuff like that. So boom, after the interview, they'll call you back, tell you to come in a certain day, or they just won't call you back at all. That means you didn't get the job, but they didn't call you back at all. It was a waste of your time, I'm sorry. But if you did get to this step, then you just go in and do your work. You do what you gotta do. So yeah, that's how I got a job at 16. Peace.